So this was the paper that won the 2026 EGSA Best Paper Prize. The Ogbanje Returns, reading Toni Morrison's Beloved through an Igbo Cosmological Lens. On the morning that the announcement was made, a lot of people sent congratulatory messages, and I'm really grateful to them. I'm equally grateful to have won. It comes with this feeling that your work is seen and your work is recognized, your effort is recognized by scholars alike. And I would like to read an excerpt from it. I'm not going to read everything because it is still an essay that I consider as work in progress. I'm still cooking. But then I would like to read this excerpt that discusses or explains the cultural framework or the theoretical lens through which I encountered Morrison's Beloved. Speaking about Morrison, Morrison is a household name as far as African American literature is concerned, as far as American literature is concerned, as far as global literature is concerned. When you talk about the Nobel laureate, or when you mention the name Morrison, what comes to mind putatively is Beloved. I know she has written or she wrote enormous sophisticated literature, beautiful ones, from Song of Solomon to The Bluest Eye to Sula to Tara Baby. Beloved sit at the top three for me, and over the years, scholars, critics have read, studied, and engaged Beloved through a post-traumatic stress disorder or trauma theory, or people have read it as a Western Gothic novel. As opposed to that, I decided to read it through a different cultural framework, through an Igbo cosmological lens. The Ogbanje's phenomenon or syndrome is not exclusive to the Igbo people. It cuts across many communities in Africa. We find it among the Yorubas, we find it among the Akan people of Ghana, even beyond West Africa. The metaphysics of reincarnation is something that is discernible even among the Indians. But before I read this excerpt, I will also want to acknowledge two important works that facilitated my reading of Morrison's Beloved. The first one is The Word of the Ogbanje by Chinwe Achebe, Chinua Achebe's wife. It is an important work in this subject. The second work is the most read African novel, Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. I know a lot of people have read Things Fall Apart, so I'm not expecting one to ask, what has Things Fall Apart got to do with a spirit child or with an Ogbanje? Because we know that Things Fall Apart explores many African thematic preoccupation that cuts across cultures, that cuts across even manhood, children, gender, feminism, and culture clash, colonialism, what have you. These two important works shaped my reading of Morrison's Beloved, especially through an Igbo cosmological lens. Without further ado, I wouldn't want to hold you guys too long like a man without hands. I'll just go ahead and read this excerpt. This excerpt will serve as an introduction to the concept of Ogbanje, especially for those who are coming across the term or the phenomenon for the first time. This is a section in my essay titled, What or Who is an Ogbanje? An Ogbanje is a child believed to be destined to die prematurely and return repeatedly to the same mother, living brief lives that end in cyclical death and rebirth. This pattern persists for as long as the mother continues to bear children. Etymologically, the term Ogbanje is rooted in Igbo cosmology in southeast Nigeria, although analogous figures exist across West Africa. Among the Yorubas, such a spirit child is called Abiku, and the Akan, please my Ghanaian brother should excuse me for whatever mispronunciation. The Akan people of Ghana refer to it as Kosama. According to Achebe, Ogbanjes are part human and part spirit beings whose lives are confounded by the added loyalty which they owe to the spirit deities. While the average person owes their loyalty to their chi, what the Igbo people call personal god, Ogbanjes are situated in the demands of paranormal deities, in the sense that a full life cycle is not guaranteed. Achebe identifies two categories of Ogbanje. We have Ogbanje Elu and Ogbanje Mmiri. On their journey to the human world, The Ogbanje signs a contract with one of the two gatekeepers known as Nemmiri, or a water spirit deity. One of the contents of the agreement, which is top priority, is that the Ogbanje will not live a full life cycle. Once they have overstayed their time in the human world, the Ogbanje is expected to depart through death and return to the spirit realm, only to be sent back again through rebirth. A mother who repeatedly conceives only to lose her children at a precarious age often interprets her condition as misfortune. Initially, she may attribute it to an unfavorable chi, what the Igbo people term chi ojo, or an ill-fated god. She then consults a diviner who may reveal that the children she bears are spirit children, bound by a covenant with Nemmiri to live brief lives in the human world. The diviner or medicine man may then be invited to conduct a spiritual diagnosis and perform rites of pacification aimed at breaking the child's covenant with the water spirit deities.